We are back yet again with another demo day. Demo 2 out of 3. Behind me is about a 5,000 square foot home. There's also a massive pool. We're tearing it all out to make way for a 7,500 square foot beast. And in this video, we're gonna talk one-on-one with the owner of Venditti and just walk us through their general day-to-day operations. Now, let me shut up and let's get back into tearing this house down. A few people have asked me, that looks like a great house. Why are you tearing it down? And yes, from the outside, it doesn't look too bad. There's like a lot of stone. It's kind of large, but once you get into the inside, you will see just how quirky this house is. The house was built in the late 70s, and it was a small home when it was first being built. And the owner, who I met him personally and his family, they're great people, but he did multiple additions all by himself. So there is so much funky stuff. For instance, there's multiple add-on additions where the foundation is not adequate, things are falling down, things are cracking, and honestly, the floor plan is just wonky. There's only 3 bedrooms in this whole house and it's almost 5,000 square feet. There was a hilarious interior balcony looking down from the kitchen into one of the literal 5 different living rooms. This house is nothing like what we're going to build. We are building a warm, modern estate. The house is going to be sprawling. And really the most major change is where you see the house now. We're moving our new house nearly 100 feet back into our lot. We have a huge 4-car garage and a giant motor court. There's windows all along the back of the house. The second story, all focused on the view. And then it lets us put our pool closer to that view. It's gonna be all infinity edge. And when you're in that pool, it's gonna just feel like you're on the edge of the world. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you so much for being here. So first off, what's your name? Who are you? What do you do?
So my name is Matthew. I'm with Venditti Demolition. I'm an assistant project manager and I manage all the demolition side of this company.
Man, so this is a pretty dynamic site. I mean, we have a pretty big house. It's like almost 5,000 square feet. It's all masonry. We have tons of masonry on the driveway. We have a huge pool in the back. We have a shed out back. We have all these different retaining walls. Tell me a little bit about the different aspects of like what is going to complicate this job.
So this job is actually pretty unique in every aspect that you pretty much touched on. So I'm gonna be dealing with retaining walls. I'm gonna be dealing, like you said, with masonry. This one's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but nothing overwhelming that we can't take on. Normally on a typical house, he'll be in and out in about 3 days. This house, I think it's gonna be more about 5. So with those complications, it's just gonna add 2 more days. Because
when you talk about these level changes, you're not only demoing, you're dealing with like grading, you're making sure that like there's not too much erosion. Like
yes.
How does that factor into everything? Because honestly, this is probably like a level 4 out of 10. If you're like working in Westlake on some insanely sloped lot, like how does that affect things?
So the way that affects things is it kind of slows down the process. We're not able to just start at the front door and then just work our way all the way to the back. We have to go to where that level change is gonna happen. And then we got to figure out, okay, what's the best way to take this retaining wall out and build a ramp or dig out a ramp so our excavator can get down to that bottom level and start all that work down there. I love it. Every day is different. There's times where everything's going wrong, but I'm the guy to fix it. And there's days where things are running smooth and those days are just as good too.
So tell me a little bit about how many projects are you managing at one time? Tell me about some of these like fires and issues that you deal with regularly.
So 2 active, and then on top of that, we got about 20 to 30 in the background in the process getting up to that point.
Dude, that sounds overwhelming. I mean, at times it must be, right?
It can be. It definitely keeps the head spinning, keeps me busy. My typical day, I'm waking up, dropping my kids off at school really early, and then I'm running and I'm going to job sites, making sure these guys have everything they need to be successful, following up with customers that are coming up. And then also if I got inspections, I got to deal with the city and they give you big window chunks. So it's a balancing act with my time throughout the day of what needs to be prioritized and where I need to physically be and what can be handled over the phone and through email.
What is like the worst thing that can go on during a job? Like what are you trying to prevent or avoid?
I'm trying to prevent or avoid demoing property that's not intended to be demoed.
Yes, I mean, that's very clear. That's as clear from like a neighbor's house to like,
Yes.
if you're like, hey, I need to keep this rock wall, you know, like
Yes.
stuff like that.
Exactly. And we're tearing down a tree. We want to make sure that limb doesn't fall on the neighbor's car. If we're working near property lines where something was built way back in the day and it's basically on the property line, which they don't let you do anymore, that we're taking that down in an efficient way where we're not going to mess anything up in the neighbor's yard, and I don't have a phone call with somebody giving me every single cuss word in the book because I damaged their property.
Do you have like a construction background?
I have a background in carpentry. Before this, I was a carpenter for 7 years, and that's not including the teenage labor that my dad put me through, you know,
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
that's
weekends.
awesome.
I was basically born and bred into a family of carpenters, so I can go in there, I can look, and I have a very, very strong understanding of how this was built, if it was built the way it was supposed to, and if it wasn't, and what we should do to, you know, avoid any catastrophe. Knowing how to build something really helps with how to safely take it down.
Yeah.
That I really, really have to thank my father for all the experience he gave me.
And I also just think it's ironic that you've built stuff for so long and now you're like literally doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace. It's going from making sure everything is picture perfect, especially when I got into finished carpentry, putting in, you know, trim in these multi-million-dollar homes. Everything has to be meticulous and perfect. To now it's like, hey guys, let's show up, let's tear this down,
Yeah.
and let's just make sure everything's clean at the end of the day.
There's so much complex crap that we do. We're like using a little toothpick sometimes, it seems. And you guys are coming in with
Yeah.
the massive dozers and excavators.
You know, I don't have to worry about punch out lists when I'm done.
Yes.
How much materials, like how many 2x4s, how many 1x6s. It's just like, hey, let's show up, make sure the equipment's running right, everybody's in a good mood, and let's get this torn down.
All right, we are here with the owner of Venditti. This is Thomas. He has machinery, trucks, you name it, all around the whole city and state. Such an impressive company, someone that I really admire. Thank you for being here, bro.
How you doing?
How'd you get started in all this?
We started in Chicago in 2004. Right out of high school, I started into construction. And I built the business from landscaping all the way up through demo and site work in Chicago. I sold in 2015. I had a 5-year non-compete. During that 5-year time, I had family that lived out here in Austin and Houston area, so I'd come visit them quite often. And I saw the potential to bring Venditti here to Austin, Texas. So during that 5 years time, I strategically worked for several different companies to learn the market here in Austin and learn the market in Texas. Doing whatever it is, pushing a broom or operating, you know, I've went all the way down to being a laborer for companies just to have the experience with that company and learn everything that they know.
Was this all in your plan?
Things kind of snowballed a little bit. We had to adapt to account for it. You know, we did not expect our branding and our name to get to the point that it is here today. And finding good people, that's really the name of the game. So I feel very proud of what we built, and I feel very proud of the people that have worked for me, because if it wasn't for them, you know, I wouldn't be here today.
What does branding mean to you? You have hats, you have trucks, you wrap the excavators. Every piece of your equipment is a mobile billboard.
So walking into the business here in Texas, we noticed a few different things, you know, and things that I learned from up north is you don't see too many people here in Texas branding. They'll buy a piece of equipment, a Caterpillar, Volvo, Komatsu, etc., and it just says Komatsu on it. You know, I'm not in business to make Komatsu money.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm in business to make Venditti money, right? So why is there a Komatsu sticker on my machine? You know, we rip it off the second we get it, and we brand it to our own. So we want people to notice us. We want people to see us. We want to stand out from the crowd so that everybody notices us, and we want to do a damn good job.
What is your normal day like?
I have zero flexibility. You know, right now we're still in a major growth stage. We want to get this to be a very big company here in Texas. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I leave the office around 10 p.m. and that's 6 days a week. Sunday, I try to take Sunday to just chill out and relax and get grounded again so I can get back at it during the week. Generally doesn't always happen, but I try, you know?
One of the things that actually blew me away is Gerardo and Kirk told me that you're the best operator in the company. And that just blows my mind.
I can wear every hat in this company, whether it be operating, laboring. I am happy to do any part of it. You know, I will come out here and push a broom just as much as I'll operate it, just as much as I'll bid the next job.
You have like a rough breakdown of how many excavators you have, how many dump trucks you have, and then there's different size dump trucks. Just give me a little bit of a laydown of like kind of the various equipment you
So we have 48 trucks, and the rest of it's in equipment.
Don't you have like big rigs to like actually haul the excavators?
Yeah, so we have 5 haul trucks that, you know, haul all of our equipment all over Texas every single day.
Now, as far as excavator sizes go, where does this fall in like the various sizes you have?
This is one of the smaller, larger excavators we have. So in a large excavator category, there's 2 categories, mini excavator and then a large scale excavator. So a mini excavator would be like your excavators with rubber tracks as you come see a guy dig your water line in or something like that. This is the smallest, larger excavator we own.
Dude, that thing's huge. So you have one bigger than this?
Yes, we have 380s, 400s, and 500s. I think 500 is the largest one that we have, and its weight is about 120,000 pounds, whereas this weighs about 45,000.
It's over double.
Yes, sir.
That is mind-blowing.
So, and then we have skid steers like this, all the way up to D10 dozers that weigh 163,000 pounds. So we have to move these around on a daily basis.
How many crews do you have working at any given time within the company?
So we don't like to specify just specific crews, right? We have about 170 people just here in Austin. And, you know, let's say we're gonna come demo this house, we know we only need 2 guys. If we're gonna demo the whole block, and we needed, you know, 5 excavators and a bunch of laborers, we would bring out the amount of people to be able to handle that.
Oh, wow.
You know, if we're gonna do a big interior demo downtown and we need 50 laborers for a week straight, we would bring 50 laborers for a week straight. We can go from having a crew with 2 people to a crew with 100 people if needed.
I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you for partnering with me again.
Absolutely,
I appreciate
brother.
it.
Thank you.
And thanks for trusting in us.
Yeah.